So, a few videos ago, I did a story on this very subject right here. There were two Michigan Republicans in Wayne County that did not want to certify the vote because they said that they had personally themselves seen some high irregularities. They were holding out, and then they started getting threats. They started getting threats against them. They started getting threats against their children, and they caved. Well, now they're fighting back again. And this is from the Daily Mail, but look how they kind of frame it. The words that they highlight, the words they have all in bold, they're trying to make you think, oh my God, they rescinded again. But remember, they were holding out. They didn't want to certify the results because they said they saw things that didn't make sense. And then the people of Wayne County were threatening these two Republicans because that's what, I guess, evidently Biden supporters do. I don't know. That seems what it is. Anybody that goes against Biden or doesn't fit the narrative for them perfectly, or anybody that supports Trump, we hear about violence against them. We hear about threats against them. I mean, what's going on? We're Americans. We're not supposed to be partisan like that. Good Lord. Let's read this. Two Michigan Republicans flip-flop, and then see, again, and demand to rescind their votes, certifying Wayne County election results after they yielded to pressure following initial refusal. Pressure. They yielded to threats. That's the difference. The two Republican members of the Board of Canvassers in Michigan's most populous county now want to rescind their votes, certifying the result of the November 3rd election. Monica Palmer and William Hartman of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers, who initially refused to certify the presidential election results, performed a dramatic backflip after they were roundly blasted during a 3-hour public meeting. They were threatened. Roundly blasted. They were called every name in the book, and then their children were threatened. Palmer and Hartman angered many when they declared they would not sign off on their district's ballot count, which had Joe Biden ahead by 148,000 votes. Which is their right. They don't have to. If they don't want to certify the election because they believe that there was something nefarious going on, then they should speak up. And this is regardless of what side they are. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or whatnot. Imagine you're in your home and a fire breaks out and you run outside and you're like, hey, there's a fire in my house. And the cop looks. I don't see a fire. I don't see anything. Well, it's not in the front of the house. It's in the back of the house. Tell me there's no fire. Well, but there's a fire. No. I want you to tell me there's no fire, or I'm going to release your address to everybody, and everybody's going to know what kind of trouble you caused. You want me to wake up the fire department and get them down here to put out your fire, and I don't see a fire. So either say there's no fire or okay, fine, there's no fire. And then they come back later, there's still a fire and it's bigger now. And then, come on. If they believe that they have seen something that was nefarious, that did not fit, that is not right, that is not legal perhaps, then we need to stop, we need to investigate. We cannot threaten these people. That's, wow. The move was seen as an attempt to disenfranchise black voters. Yes, of course, because that's what it always is to you guys. You just see the evil when there's no evil. They believe that they had seen some things in the vote counting that did not fit. And where do you go with it? Straight to the race card. That's like your nuclear option. Unfortunately, you've used your nuclear option, that your nuclear option has lost its teeth. How many times do we run into this thing where, well, it had to have been a racist thing, this, that, and then it comes out, no, it wasn't. It was just a simple thing where somebody saw this that was going on. They said, no. But yes, of course, you're going to go straight to that. It couldn't possibly be because they actually saw something. No possible way. Because they actually saw something. These are the two individuals right here. I see that they're both white. So does that mean that that was racist of you and racial profiling of you, thinking that just because they were white, they did it for racial reasons? I mean, it's the same logic, right? Continuing. Since African Americans make up some 80% of the population in Wayne County's largest city, Detroit. So what? If they saw something nefarious, it's not about color, this and that. They can't see the color of somebody when they're watching from a distance. People count the votes. I don't know. Why you always got to go to that one option? Because that's the option that in the past has gotten you the, okay, you can't say that. I'll be quiet. I won't go any further. You can't call me that because everybody will believe you and this and that. Well, it's kind of changing nowadays because now people are fighting back saying, no. Wasn't racist in any way, shape, or form. They saw something that they didn't think was right, and they called it out, and they said they don't feel comfortable certifying the election because they didn't feel that things were right. And it was the people of Wayne County that did the threatening. It's the people of Wayne County that were in the wrong. Amidst the intense backlash, Palmer and Hartman did an about-face and voted to certify on Tuesday. Let's say that the way that it should have been. Amidst the intense threats, Palmer and Hartman, in order to save their families, voted the way the mob wanted them to. That would be a little more accurate. Late Wednesday, Palmer and Hartman sought to reverse themselves yet again. Filing affidavits indicated they wished to rescind their votes in favor of certification. Yeah. Yes. Alright, now let's see here. Later that evening, I was sent statements that Secretary Jocelyn Benson made, saying that she did not view our affidavit, our audit resolution to be binding. Her comments, God, it's blurry. Her comments disputed the representation made by Vice Chair Kinnock, on which I relied. It is both signed by Palmer. Alright, Miss Palmer. This is their affidavit. This is their sworn affidavit. As a result of these facts, I rescind my prior vote to certify Wayne County elections. This is them rescinding it. Okay, that's what it is. So, later that evening, I had to figure out what this is. This is them stating why it is that they, well, at least Miss Palmer stating why it is that she wants to rescind her certification of votes. Later that evening, I was sent statements that Secretary Jocelyn Benson made saying that she did not view our audit resolution to be binding. Her comments disputed the representation made by Vice Chair Kinlock, on which I relied. As a result of these facts, I rescind my prior vote to certify Wayne County elections. I fully believe the Wayne County vote should not be certified. The Wayne County election had serious process flaws, which deserve investigation. Nothing on there about, I saw a bunch of black people voting, and so I don't feel comfortable with it. Nothing in there about that. You Democrats take it to the race card. You Democrats take it there. You take it there. And I'm a Democrat, and I'm ashamed of it. I'm not a Republican. I'm not even a supporter of Republicans. I'm a Democrat. And all I see is Democrat folly and Democrat failure, left and right. That's my people. I'm a Democrat. Always have been. But the Democrats are not Democrats anymore. I don't know what they are, but they're not Democrats. I continued to ask for information to assure Wayne County voters that these elections were conducted fairly and accurately. Despite repeated requests, I have not received the requisite information and believe an additional 10 days of canvass by the State Board of Canvassers will help provide me the information necessary. Excuse me. I initially voted to not certify the election, and I still believe this vote should not be certified, and the State Board of Canvassers should canvass for an additional period, 10 additional days. Until the questions are addressed, I remain opposed to certification of the Wayne County results. The above information is true to the best of my information, knowledge, and belief. I certify, here we go, under penalty of perjury. So, she is putting her neck on the line saying that she thinks there wasn't something right about the elections and the count. So why are everybody threatening them? Is that what we do? Someone disagrees with you, someone's across partisan lines, you threaten them? Come on, Wayne County. That's not how you act. The two Republicans agreed to certify as a part of a compromise in which the Secretary of State Democrat Jocelyn Benson agreed to conduct an audit of the county's votes to clear up minor clerical errors. But by Wednesday, the two said it was clear that no such audit is being planned. Yeah. What is this tweet? As if it couldn't get any wilder at the Wayne County Board of Canvassers. The Republican members are now seeking to rescind certification, despite the fact that the motion officially passed. Certification papers were signed, and records were sent to the Secretary of State this morning. However, it was under duress and under threats. While Palmer and Hartman have signed affidavits seeking to revoke their certification, Vice Chair Kinloch assures me the deal is already done. Lawsuits withstanding, as election lawyers have explained to me, this deadline is also a hard stop. And the deadline was yesterday. However, they were threatened. I believe that deserves extenuating circumstances, don't you? They were threatened. I don't care who was threatened at any time, point, or place. If they're making a decision or something and their decision was based at least part or whole or in any part on threats made by other individuals which influence their decision, then yes, it needs to be looked into. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're voting on what little Debbie snacks you want to have after dinner. If someone's threatening you, well then hold on. Your decision, your choice is not your own. You decided through threats. Especially with something as valuable as our votes. The affidavit continued. Yes, I have read all that. I read that. The attempt to rescind the certification is unlikely to have any effect on the state's official approval on the final vote count. That's fine. But the reality is, someone threatened these people, and for some reason it seems like everybody is okay with it. Wow. This is just nuts. They want to hold on the vote because they think that something is wrong. They don't see something that seems correct. Then they go to a town hall style meeting and they get threats. People saying millions of people are going to know who you are. So then they say, okay, we'll vote for the certification as long as you say that there's going to be an audit. But then there's no audit. So they broke that part of the deal as well. We will vote for the certification as long as there's an audit. So let's go to this part down here. Here's where we're going to be, right here. The initial decision by the two Republicans to not certify sparked outrage on Tuesday, with the two board members being subsequently lambasted, is that what we're calling it now, in a Zoom meeting by Ned Stiebler. Oh, this is a different one. The one where they got threatened was at a town hall style meeting by Ned Stabler, a prominent Michigan businessman who worked as a poll watcher in the large county which encompasses the city of Detroit. I just want to let you know that the Trump stink, the stain of racism that you have covered yourself in, is going to follow you throughout history, Stabler raged, writing that the pair specifically refused to certify results in Detroit, which has a population that is around 80% black. So, this guy here, this is the guy that, for some reason, decides, in his opinion, that it was racist for them to say they didn't want to certify the results, even though they said that they saw some things that they didn't agree with. He pointed out that the pair appeared to have no qualms in certifying results from Livonia, a nearby city which was 95% white, despite the fact that there were larger discrepancies between votes cast and counted in that area. Well, then you should say that you want to recount in that county. And I will support you in having a recount in that county. If you think that there are discrepancies in that county, how come you aren't speaking up about discrepancies in that county? What are you doing? If you believe that there were larger discrepancies in that other county, and then speak up. Say, hey, don't certify those results either. But you're not. So I can't take you at your word, because obviously if it was something that was happening, you would speak up about it, right? Because there's no way that you would allow people's votes to not count, or people's votes to get thrown out, or wrong people to vote, such as people who are not even in the country or anything like that. So if you saw discrepancies, you obviously would speak up, because our vote's important, but you're not, so therefore it didn't happen. That's all I can extrapolate. You're saying it happened. You're saying it happened, but you're not doing anything about it. If you're not doing anything about it, then I have to guess that it didn't happen. Anyways, your thoughts, your opinions. What do you think? Should it be certified? Should it be investigated? Should they have spoke up at all? Should they have just keeping their darn mouths shut? Personally, no. I think they should have spoke up. See something, say something. That's what they say, right? Isn't that what they're saying during the lockdown? If your neighbor's out of lockdown without a good reason, say something. Well, if we're willing to do something for something like that, then why wouldn't we be willing to do something like that for our vote? I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, this year. Something else, isn't it?